What's up, guys? Welcome to a brand new FRI-Q&A. Thanks for sending in the questions again. Well, answers actually. Thanks for sending in your answer again. It's good to me to see that the amount of questions are going up, so people like the concept, I hope. At least I think so. Please let me know if you like what I'm doing here every Friday Q&A time with these kind of videos. And if you feel like something could be better, just let me know in the comment section and I'll try to change it if it's possible, of course. So like I said, thanks again for sending in all those questions that you guys sent in this week. You know what, let's just get started with the first one, which is from Abdelatif Bey. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but Abdelatif. How to properly release a track? Copyright, UPC, ISFC. And also, when is the right time to send promos? Is it after or before the release? So I'm not really sure where you're going with this question, how to properly release a track, but I try to explain it as good as possible. The UPC and the ISRC are codes that normally the label arranges for you. But if you release it on your own, I think you can fill it in with TuneCore and stuff as well. So you have to create a code because it's a unique code for your track. It's the track where all the other companies can notify you that it's your track. It's just a unique thing. It's just like a barcode or whatever. Register with pros like SCAP and BMI. Yeah, that's a good idea. And as well, Soundtrust and Sound Exchange. Why? Because they are the companies who actually gather all the money you get from when your track gets played or whatever on the radio. Someone has to collect all that money and send it to you afterwards, because it's really impossible for you to go all over the world and see where a track actually has been played, which radio station or which festival or whatever. That's what those companies do. They collect your money and take it to you eventually. So it's always a good idea to register with those kind of companies. Here in the Netherlands we have Buma Stemra. So it might be useful to you as an artist to sign up there and register, at least when your track gets released and when a track gets played on radio stations or whatever. Let's see. Second question from Dave of all people. I'm guessing that's not his real last name. By the way, there's another question from Abdelatif. And also, when is the right time to send promos? After or before the release? I guess it's both, actually. Before the release, it's smart to send out promos because you want DJs to start playing your track before the track gets out there to build a hype for the track. And they like the exclusivity they get. So it's a smart idea to send the bigger A-list DJs your track about like 2 to 3, maybe 4 weeks before your release. But after your release, like when your release is out, you can still promote your track and you can still send your track to like the smaller DJs or maybe radio stations or the Spotify playlist owners, because that's when the track just out. Now it's available on Spotify, so you should promote it to them at that moment. So it's actually 2 levels of promotion. One is the promotion before the release and the second is the promotion after the release. And I should do both if I were you. Dave of all people. Should an artist rely on inspiration or discipline? Should you force music even when you're not feeling it? Well, same to you, Dave. I think it's both. Of course, it's impossible to have inspiration all day long or all the time. But that doesn't mean that when you don't have any inspiration or whatever, you shouldn't be in your studio to do something else. Because as an artist, you have to do a lot more than just making music. So if you are in the studio and you feel like things aren't working out, you just keep doing things over and over again and deleting stuff. And if you start noticing that, I would just close down the project, take about a few hours, 2 or 3 hours to spend more time on the other side of the business, which is the marketing or your social media or maybe promotion or whatever. But there's a lot more to do than just making music. So it's both. It's discipline and inspiration. You should do inspiration when you feel like making music and you have inspiration. And on the other side, when you don't feel like making music because things aren't working out, you should make sure that you have that discipline to do all the boring work. Because it's really tempting, especially with this kind of weather. It's 30 degrees right now. If it doesn't work out in the studio and it's 2 o'clock and the sun is shining, it's really tempting to go out and chill. but those are the moments where you actually should spend time working on all the boring stuff. Michael Kramer Boyd. How do I release my own music on Spotify without a label? And I see Lassen already said that I talked about it before, but let's just say it again. There's a lot of platforms out there which can distribute your song to platforms like Spotify or iTunes or Beatport. There's a lot of those companies. A few of them are TuneCore and DistroKid and CD Baby. But just feel free to check all those companies out. Everyone is kind of the same, but they all have different different things. So just see what works for you. Some is a bit more expensive and the other one's a bit cheaper. So just check what works for you and what feels good to you. But yeah, it's really easy to get your music out there actually. Yoshi is asking me, what do you think about SonarWorks? Let me just quickly Google that, because I think it's the thing where you can measure your studio stuff. Reference, yeah, sound calibration. I actually never used it. I heard a few people talking about it. I'm just not 100% sure that it works, because I do believe that it can adjust some things in your speakers, and it can just, it can help you a bit. But if your room sucks, it's just hard to make it perfect, because you really have to adjust the room. So I believe it can make things a bit better, but I'm not really a big believer that it completely helps you. But like I said, I've never used it before, so I'm not really the one to tell about it. But just looking at it from the theoretical side, I'm not really sure if it's gonna work. Question from Lassen. How to start your label? That's actually pretty easy as well nowadays. Before, like a few years back, you had to start up a distribution channel and you had to get a partner to distribute your songs and stuff. But like I said before, there's a lot of ways to do this right now. And there's also companies where you can create your own label, and they take over the distribution for you, and they just charge you a small amount of percentages of whatever, or a small amount of money. But it's really easy actually. I'm not really sure what the name of the company was. I'm not sure, but there was a website where I think it was an American company. I should look it up, but there's a company that does this kind of things. But if you Google it, maybe you find it as well. It's really easy actually. What to do to let it grow fast? I think it's all about the music and about the way how you brand yourself into the market. Like, you have to release a lot of good music. That's number one. And number two is you have to be visual to the people, and your music has to be at the right spot. So DJs have to play your music, radio stations have to play your music, it has to be featured in Spotify playlists, iTunes playlists, all those kind of things. It's kind of similar to what an artist should do, but now it's just the label brand that you're selling and not the artist brand. What do you think is the best? A label original release or network original release, remixes, bootleg, edits? Not really sure what you mean, but I'm a big believer of of releasing remix packages, because in that way you serve more genres than just one, so you have a bigger audience. It's impossible to do bootlegs as a label because it's not official works. Edits could work, and I would focus on the original releases, of course. Sigerman. My band Kayak is moving more towards DJ shows rather than live shows. We are complete beginners in that field, so I have a few questions. Number one, where is the best place to get music for a DJ show? Depending on what kind of music you're playing, I'm not sure, but to me it's always been Beatport or TrackSource. Those are the two platforms where you can download the high quality tracks, so I think that's the way to go for you, as long as you play that genre of music. What percentage would you recommend for 1 to 2 hour DJ show? 30% original, 70% others. Okay, like that. Depending on how much music you have and how famous your music is, I think that's really hard to say. That really depends on where you are in your career, how famous your tracks are, what kind of audience you play for. So yeah, I don't think there's a great answer that's different to anyone. We live in Iceland, so what could be your best option for playing abroad, finding a booker or do it yourself? The best option is to start doing it yourself, because if you start doing it yourself and you build yourself a big brand, you will be notified by bookers who will be interested in you. Bookers won't be interested in you if you haven't built anything yourself, if you're not famous yet, if you're not selling tickets. So you should start doing all the things yourself, and make sure you get your name out there, and people actually start buying tickets for your shows, and that's when bookers might be interested in you. Toby was, I don't know how much you're into this, but how to grow your fan base most effectively? How to promote your post on Facebook? Is it good to invest money into Facebook advertisement? And is Facebook even still useful? Facebook is definitely still useful because everyone's on there, not just alone your friends, but also your family and the old people and the younger people. Everyone's on there, so you can actually reach everyone. It's definitely a great platform to be active on. As an artist, I think it's hard to do Facebook advertisement because you don't want to sell anything. You don't want to make people feel that you're actually selling something. I would definitely use Facebook to brand yourself and to add value to people's life, or maybe for free giveaways or for whatever. But I would never do a Facebook advertisement to promote your show or to promote your merchandise or whatever. So I would stay away from the Facebook advertisement for now, especially in the beginning, but I would definitely start using Facebook to grow your audience. Yopra soon. Person A knows how to DJ but haven't released any music anywhere, doesn't get booked in local clubs and doesn't have friends in industry or anyone willing to help him. Person B doesn't know how to DJ properly but knows how to play songs, mixing them live, haven't released any music anywhere, gets booked regularly, has paid social media following internet. After his gig, people talk shit about him, but big clubs booking again, and due to his fans, gig photos, he gains popularity. As an artist coach, what do you suggest to that person A to up his game in the industry, popularity-wise and financial-wise? I would start releasing a lot of music and start building a brand, because like you mentioned with person B, it's a tactic which you could choose for, but I really believe that it's a short-term thing. I don't think that something like this could last that long, so it's a really short-term thing. If you want to make music a thing for life, I would definitely go with a long-term strategy to build a great base. And building a great base takes time. And that includes building a brand and releasing a lot of music and talking to a lot of people to build a network. So it's a lot of work. It's gonna take time, but I really believe in the long term it's way better than doing it the way person B does in your story. So I would suggest to build a network, release a lot of music, and start building your brand online. And then the financial part will come eventually. Sep, hello Joey. Thank you for your awesome work. It's really helpful. My question is, what in your opinion is the best way to promote yourself as a DJ? To have bookings in places where you want to go. The best way to promote yourself as a DJ is to be unique, because there's a lot of DJs out there right now, and it's just really easy to play someone else's music, to do the same thing that everyone else is doing. I would try to find something that is unique and fits with you as a person, and start building a show around it. If you're not a producer, if you don't make your own music, I would find someone who could help you with that, because that's really useful. You should have your own music as a DJ. At least I think that makes things easier, especially if you want to play abroad. So I would find someone who can make that music for you, and which you can sell eventually. So you should find a ghost producer or maybe a co-producer. But yeah, I would definitely say, what was the question? What's the best way to promote yourself? If it's just about the DJing, I would start doing a lot of shows for free or for a low percentage, just to get your name out there, to gain experience, and start working on your network, because people have to know you and people have to experience your show. if they're really special, they will book you. So be unique and try to find a ghost producer or a co-producer who can help you with the music part. Those were the questions of this week. Thanks again, guys. It was nice. There were deeper questions, longer questions. So thanks for sending those in. I hope this was useful to you. Let me know if you have any further questions. Reach out to me on social media, Instagram, Facebook. Send me a direct message. I will always be available. Sometimes it might take a little bit longer, but I try to answer as soon as possible. By the way, guys, thanks for being a part of the artist coaching community. To anyone who's listening right now or watching the video and isn't a part of the artist coaching community and you would like to ask your question to me, please head over to my Facebook page and request access to the artist coaching community Facebook group. There's where the magic happens. That's where we discuss all these things and where you can ask these questions to me. And maybe I will answer your question next time. Thanks again, guys, for following me and being a part of the community. I will be back next week. First on Wednesday with a new Suki Likes live promo session at 4 p.m. and Friday a live Q&A again. So see you guys next week. Have a great weekend and good luck with everything. Bye.